So today I have hip hop artist Andy Mineo is virtually stopping by to talk to me. Andy, how are you feeling today?
Man, I'm feeling good. I'm just in the studio, but I'm jumping around doing a lot of interviews and talks with people. So, you got to balance the creative and the marketing side too.
For sure. Now,
Yeah.
it's funny because I had an interview with Lecrae on Tuesday. So I just
Okay.
wrapped up our interview. And the question that I had for you, I was able to ask him also since I had him right there. Your song Coming in Hot featuring Lecrae was released about, I believe, 3 years ago, but it's going viral now. Tell me
Right.
about your reaction towards it going viral and even having Kim Kardashian repost your song.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. That record just won't die, man. It's like it's got 9 lives. It keeps on like every time like it dies off a little bit, something happens and it keeps going. So but that's the nature of music, man. We live in an era of, my man likes to say, we don't live in an era of rocket ships. We live in an era of landmines. Before a song would come out, it have all the press, it would blow up. But now a song can be sitting around and someone steps on it and it blows and they find it late. And I think that's kind of the beauty of the internet is that there's so much music comes out and you never know when someone might use it for their Instagram, like Kim Kardashian or Will Smith or any of these other big names that have used it before. So it's incredible to see it keep moving. Um, and for me, I was telling my wife, it's weird. Like I'll be on Instagram and I'll just see it pop up, because it's the number one song on Instagram Reels. So I'll just like hear my song on some random person's page. Um, and I don't know, it doesn't. I don't feel any different, and maybe that's because my life hasn't changed
Mhm.
dramatically. I think if like all of a sudden like everything was turned upside down, I feel different. But it just feels like, oh, people on the internet are using my song. And I also think after years of like being in this business, like you kind of start to know what something is a little bit more. Like when momentum happens, you're like, all right, I know how this goes. There's
Mhm.
momentum and then it chills off, and then it's momentum and it chills off. So I don't get as hype about things as much anymore because I kind of know the rhythm of them. It's like it's not about if you got a cool song right now, it's like, can you make another one? And
Mhm.
so I'm always thinking about, all right, people like this song right now, but we should get back in the studio, work on something else.
Mhm. Yeah, I was so shocked to see Kim Kardashian post it because she's like the most famous person in the world, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's Andy and
Crazy.
Lecrae's song." So crazy.
That's right.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, she charges like $1 million for a post or something. So it's like getting $1 million of free promo.
yeah. Now, what's your reaction towards because you like you said, it's number one on Instagram Reels right now. And when you click on the song to see the videos that people are posting, it's like turned into like a twerk fest.
Yeah.
What is your reaction towards that? That they're twerking to this song?
Yeah. I mean, people can do whatever they want with these records, but it's cool to know that it's reaching an audience that's bigger than my audience. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Um, and I think that's the encouraging part of it. Um, and obviously, like, yeah, people can do whatever they want, to their thing. But it is funny to me when you click on it and you're just like, wow, all right, this is what we doing out here to this record. My boy told me, he's like, yo, I heard it in the strip club, and I was like, that's crazy. So the song is just going everywhere, and all of my music is clean. I don't. It wasn't necessarily intended for that for the strip club. Like I wasn't in the studio like this is gonna be a banger in the strip club, but sometimes that people take it and they use it for what they want, and it's always funny to me.
And I'm sure they're making a lot of money to that song.
Yeah, I kind of hope so. I'm like, yeah, make money, do you think?
So now, you know my Uncle Manny, and I'm not
Right.
sure if you remember, but I remember you from back in the day when you were a city college student. I'm talking about 10, 11 years ago.
Wow.
And I remember meeting you then, and this was your sea light days, taking it all the
Wow.
way back, long hair days.
Wow.
And it's funny because when I met you back then, you were introduced as, oh, he's a college student, he's doing music and things like that.
Yeah.
And then shortly after that, going to these, Christian conventions and these conferences, you were always like the headliner, you were always performing, and, you were selling out these places. And I think it's amazing that even back then, 10, 11 years ago, you had such a loyal fan base.
Yeah.
And now 11 years later, obviously your success has grown, in immense amount of ways. How does it feel to have such a loyal fan base all these years?
Man, I got the greatest fans in the world, man. Like my real fans like rock with me and understand who I really am. It's cool to know that like I have a real core of people who just like I rock with Andy. I like the way he thinks and the music he makes and the way he views life, and I'm a journey with him. Um it's like it's a blessing because I'm not like a super famous person for real. Like I have like a moderate amount of fame. Like I call it like regular famous, where I don't gotta have like a security guard to go grocery shopping. Like I can live
Yeah.
my life regular, but I have enough where I'll get stopped to take some pictures.
Hmm.
Um, but a lot of people, like especially a lot of artists, man, like they can have big number one songs on the radio and they can't sell out SOBs, like 200
Yeah.
people cap room because they don't have loyal fans. Where I've never had a song on radio, and we can sell out 1,000, 2,000 cap rooms, and my real fans who really rock with me will come. And I think that's more important to me than anything. Is like I've made a real heart connection to people, and my fans are just incredible, man. Like they rock with me through thick and thin. Like the messages that I get from my fans about like how my music has encouraged them or inspired their life or made them change their life. Like that's the stuff those are my trophies. You know what I'm saying? Those are my Grammys. And so I'm really grateful to have such a loyal fan base.
Yeah, shout out to Jithan Jacob. He's like your number one fan. A friend of mine.
Word.
He was like, "Oh my God, I love Andy. He's been rocking you since like day one." So I just had to shout him out real quick.
Uh,
Now my next question is, do you label yourself a Christian rapper, or are you a rapper who is a Christian?
yeah, some people call me that. Some people call me a Christian. I mean, there's just all kinds of names. People say gospel rapper, Christian rapper, all kinds of stuff. I was at the gym this week, and one that like I'm at this gym where a bunch of like NFL players work out, and one of the guys was like, "Yo, my man said you're a gospel rapper," and I was like, "What?" It's like I've never called myself that, but it's like people try to figure out who you are, so they put a title on you and try to make it make sense in their mind. I don't like those titles, not necessarily because I'm ashamed of the gospel or afraid to be a Christian. It's just I think they're weird titles for musicians, but I get why people get them. I just don't think people's jobs or like what is it? I would say like someone's race, their ethnicity, their orientation should or religion should predecess their profession.
Mm.
So I think it'd be weird to be like you're a female host, or if you were gay, like a gay host, or if
Yeah.
you're Muslim, like a Muslim host. I'm like I usually leave those titles off when I'm talking about someone's profession, because I feel like they can make it seem like someone is other,
Yeah.
that their profession is preceded by something else that they are. And so I just usually stay away from that myself, but I get why people say that stuff. And honestly, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter to me. It's like, do you like the music or not?
Mhm. Yeah.
But yeah.
Now, how has it been for you? Because, like you said, you don't like the labels of like Christian rapper. You're a rapper, you create clean music, and you have a relationship with God. And, those are two separate things.
Right.
But I feel like people still kind of will put you in a box, like you said, like, oh, he's a Christian rapper, he makes Christian music.
For sure.
But how does it feel? How has it been for you? Because although people still put those labels on you, you still made it to somewhat of a mainstream success. Like there's people, secular artists who know you, who rock with you, who like your music. I mean, you were on Sway show. So you do have some mainstream success for sure. So How is it kind
Yeah.
of balancing the two?
Yeah, I think that's at the end of the day, I just want my music to be in the hands of as many people as possible, because I think it's good music. And um, yeah, it's unfortunate that sometimes just titles can push people away from the music, and that's one of the things that I've always been self conscious about. Like, oh man, if I hear a title on something, usually I won't give it a chance.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if someone to say like, "Yo, check out this Muslim rap," I'll be like, you know, if I'm not Muslim, I'll be like, I'm not really interested. You know, it. But at the same time, if you are Muslim, you'll be like, yeah, maybe I want to check it out. I don't
Yeah.
know, but so it has pros and cons, the titles. But yeah, I just want my music to be in front of as many people as possible, and it's cool to see that the Christian community rocks with it, and that people in the non-Christian community rock with it. And yeah, that's really all I could ask for. Is I'm gonna be true to who I am, no matter what title people put on me, and I'm gonna make good music that I think everybody can enjoy. You know?
Yeah, for sure. So I know you're from Syracuse, and then you later moved
See
to
it? You see it?
West. Yeah, you rep in Syracuse.
Always
Some New Yorkers would say you're not from New York. You're like, you're upstate.
upstate. Yep.
But
Yep.
you did move to Washington Heights, 168, right?
Yeah. I mean, I
And
basically lived half of my life in Syracuse and another
then
half in
Washington.
New York City. So it's
So
New
what?
York. It's all New York to me.
Right. So what was the transition like moving from New York City to Atlanta? And what was the reason behind moving today?
Yeah. Well, I moved to Atlanta about a year and a half ago. Me and my wife really wanted to buy property. We wanted to
Mhm.
buy land. You know, we wanted to start owning homes. We want to start owning assets. And in New York City, you know, it's basically everybody rents apartments. So it's like if I was trying to buy a home in Manhattan, you know, you're looking at easily like 1.5, you know, for like a fixer upper. So I just I didn't want to spend $1.5 million on a house that doesn't have a backyard or a driveway.
Yeah.
You know, so we just,
Horrible.
you know, or be in a city with, you know, 8 million people. So Atlanta made a lot of sense for us because I got the studios are down here. I got a lot of relationships down here. The airport is here. It centralizes me to LA, to Miami, to New York. Everything's a short flight. And then there was a lot of opportunity to buy property and start putting the money that I've made from music into assets. Um, and so we loved it down here. And
Mhm.
as a New Yorker, it's crazy to just have a driveway and a backyard and a washer and dryer. Those are
Right.
things that,
Not have to circle 2 hours for parking.
yeah, you like, wow, it's a whole different world.
Mhm.
So quality of life has just gone up too. And man, it's the best decision for us for sure because we're loving it.
Yeah, so me and my family moved out here 2 years ago, so not too long after you moved out here. And I tell people that all the time. I'm like, I love it out here. I don't think I'll move back to New York. It's definitely was a transition in the beginning, but Atlanta's a beautiful city and definitely
Absolutely.
endless
And Atlanta's
opportunity.
got a lot of major city feel, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? It's got incredible food, sports teams, people, culture. So, you know, I love it. I don't think I'm going back to New York anytime soon.
right. Now I know Reach Records is out here and you've been rocking with Reach Records for a while now, since I think like 2011 you've been signed to them. What's
Yep.
it been like all these years working with that label and having such a good relationship with Lecrae?
Yeah. Man, they're the first people to really believe in me, put money behind me, you know, put out my albums. Lecrae's been like a big bro to me, you know, in music and also just in life, you know, in friendship. There's a really amazing team, a really amazing group of people here that have done some incredible stuff without any major label backing. Um, and you know, we've made a global movement. We've sold, you know, millions of albums and records, and it's a really cool story, and I'm glad to be a part of the history that was created here. You know.
Hmm. Now I know you're working on your new album,
Yeah.
NL2.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about that title. How did that come about and what are you working on?
Yeah. So I'm working on an album called Neverland 2. Neverland was an EP I came out with in 2014. And a lot of the themes of my music are tied around Neverland, which is like conceptually, one of my favorite movies growing up as a kid is Peter Pan. And Neverland was a place you go and you never grow up. You stay like a kid. And so that place always inspired me because I feel like the older I get, the more I want to stay like a child. You know what I'm saying? Like have that innocence, that creativity, that fun, that outlook on the world. Um, in the best sense of the word, right? So Neverland 2, I think it's gonna be a treat for my fans who've rocked with me for a long time, uh, to see that story come back around and just a continuation of it. So I'm working on that. We're working on singles. Project's almost done, and we'll hopefully be able to drop it in August. So just keep chipping away.
Do you have any features that you can talk about?
Not any that I can talk about right now. I'm talking with a few people.
Mm-hmm.
But once we get the track list solidified and we know which songs are gonna 100% be on there, I can release it. So we'll have to come back and do another full
Yeah.
interview when the project drops.
And now Lecrae, he's worked with several secular artists and has had great success. Do you see yourself working with any secular artists in the future?
For sure. Yeah, I mean, I work with people who inspire me, and there's a lot of people on both sides that do. So um, I don't. The thing is, I'll never make art or music that I don't believe in. You know what I'm saying? Um, or that I can't like personally vouch for. So you find records with people that you find common ground with, and you share something beautiful with, like make it. And I've done a lot of songs with people that aren't Christians.
Mm-hmm.
Just this past summer, I dropped a song with Marky Bossy,
Mm-hmm.
uh, dropped a record with King Mez. Um, so I mean, there's a lot of cats if you look over my discography. So I've always kind of just shared the stage or the music platform with people from all different walks of life.
Yeah. Is there someone that you would love to work with that you have not gotten the chance to work with yet? And who is that?
Yeah, man. I'm a Kanye West stan. I
Mm,
want to work with him.
that'll be a good collab, especially now that he's a Christian. I don't know. Is he a Christian rapper, a gospel singer? I'm not sure what they label him.
I know. There it is again with all the labels. It's
I
like
know.
I don't even know, man. And I don't know if he would label himself either. It's just
He says he just makes gospel music.
yeah. And the gospel's its own genre. It's why it always gets
Yeah.
stupid. I just be like, whatever. He makes great music. I want to work with him.
Tell me about Minor League because I also know that you're on Reach Records, but Reach Records and Minor League collaborated also. So what was that like to have that backing from your label to
Yeah.
your own thing?
I think every artist ends up having their own vision and they want to build their own thing. And that's what we've done with Minor League, which is the hat I got on. And Minor League, a slogan is to seek and you will find. And with what we've done over there, it's been a bit of a management company, a creative agency. Uh, and we just create cool things we put out in the world that we believe in. We try to dig for the best things, the most beautiful things, and create them and put them out. And I think that's going to be the future of everything that I do is going to be under Minor League. Um, I believe in the vision of it, and I believe in the artists that I've signed, like Words Played, who's an incredible artist and comedian, and
Mhm.
we did an album together called Magic and Bird, and he was on there, and so yeah, it's like Eminem's D12. It's like every artist that does something eventually makes their own branch, and this is what I've done, and this is gonna be the next part of my career for sure.
Thank you so much, Andy Mineo, for stopping by. Tell
Yeah,
everyone, lastly, what you have going on and what they can look forward to.
yeah. It's Andy Mineo coming in hot is out right now. Neverland 2 is on its way.